Welcome to ThurZdee Night Live with the Humm Daddies featuring Zakariah. Right now it's just Jakariah, no Z. Zakariah, aka Bill the Kid to be found. Maybe he will show up, maybe he won't. That is to be determined. We just saw Green Bay kind of plant their flag in the sand. What an impressive performance. I mean, these guys right now are the early favorites to win it all, I guess. They humiliated Detroit last week, and the Commanders were my squad last year. I had Jaden in fantasy, and I watched every game they had. They were impressive. I bet them through the playoffs, lost in that NFC championship, but impressive. Well done. Well done, Green Bay. A lot of great tight end play tonight. We saw Tucker Kraft. Tucker Kraft, get used to that name. As you know, I am a big tight end guy. I played it in high school, which, isn't the highest level, but I was pretty good. We ran the 46 power and the 42 power quite often. But when it was time for a tight end pop or a fit, like a seam route or a slant or, find the seam, your boy was there. El Cerrito High, Contra Costa College Passing League. Greg Murray, you know who you are. He used to pepper. I used to dominate that thing. Just humiliate St. Mary's, where Humm Daddy Joe Starkey went to school. But at that point, I think he was done with football and onto baseball. But anyhow, we also saw Zach Ertz rebirth. I mean, that guy's damn near my age. But a great day for tight ends. So you love to see that. In fantasy, I'm a double tight kind of guy. So right now I have Kelsey. He's on the Chiefs, which are obviously not my favorite squad, but he did have a nice long touchdown in Sao Paulo last Friday. And I got my boy McBride on the Cardinals. That's my favorite player in the league right now, but watch out because Tucker Kraft is coming for you. I mean, that dude looks impressive. And he's a young guy too. I think he's year 3, something like that, year 4. But yeah, it's that was kind of a dominating win for a game that people thought was going to be close with 2 contenders. And this time it ended on time, guys. Last time we were waiting for an hour until things finished up. But what are you going to do? So moving on from this one, do the Niners have any chance? These guys at taking on either of these teams, let alone Green Bay. Right now, who knows? It's a mystery. It's a huge mystery. Right now, Green Bay looks like the class of the NFC, of the NFL. And I don't see this 49ers team doing much or competing with a team like Green Bay. Are these injuries like the way they compile and start happening right away every year now? I mean, what's that about? Who can you blame? You need to blame someone because not every team is having all their stars get hurt every week of, the last 3 or 4 years. Aside from 2023, the Niners have been very banged up. 2023 was a miracle that they weren't that injured. I don't know. I heard some rumor on the internet that Shanahan doesn't believe in stretching as much as, say, the Harbaugh teams used to. But what are you going to do? So here's the Niners outlook for Sunday. We're going to have Mac Jones throwing to Pearsall. He's healthy. Guy got shot, and he's out there. Brian Robinson Jr. got shot. He's out there. But we might be missing Dwan Jennings. CMC is probably a little, tender on the calf, a little banged up, but he'll be out there. And Kendrick Bourne's back, guys. You got to love it. It's like the 2022 Pats, right? Mac Jones to Kendrick Bourne. Aren't you excited about that? What was that team's record? 3-14, something like that. Yeah. So looking forward to it. And we'll see on Sunday. The Saints, I watched a lot of the Saints Arizona game on Sunday, this last Sunday, and I thought Arizona would run away from it or run away with it right away. And they weren't as dominating as I thought they'd be. I mean, the offense was solid. Hold on. I'm Z, who the show's named after, is texting me. Let's take a look at what Z's saying. Did you send a link? Let's get him live on the horn here. Dave, if you're watching, this is some live business here. Hey, buddy, I'm live on air for the Humm Daddies on ThurZdee Night Live featuring Zakariah. And right now, I got my phone in my ear. Dave G sent you a link yesterday. For ThurZdee Night Live. Okay? All right. So we're waiting. Zakariah now. Sounds like he's doing laundry with his girlfriend or his mom. I don't know who. But we'll patiently await his return. We're actually playing each other fantasy baseball right now in the playoffs. And I just tore up the league the last few weeks, and he went from third to almost missing out completely. Right now, he's kicking my ass. That doesn't feel great. Doesn't feel wonderful. But such is life. And we'll wait for him to navigate Gmail, be able to open an email. I know it's kind of a very tech savvy thing you have to do to be able to navigate your emails. But he's going to give it a try. He's going to give it the old college try. And with him, it's a UC Berkeley try, preceded by Contra Costa College. I myself am a Long Beach State man, the 49ers, and in baseball, the Dirtbags. So while we're waiting for him, fantasy-wise, what do we do about Austin Eckler, guys? He got hurt tonight, and it looked like it might not be good. I mean, all signs point to something year-ending, unfortunately. When you're carted off and it's non-contact, that was ugly. And he's not the youngest guy out there, so that's, you feel bad for a dude like that. Eckler's a really cool dude. From everything I've seen of him, he's charitable, smart guy, great running back. He won our friend Danny a title. I traded him to Danny in 2018 in the Pit League, and it won him a title, and I got accused of collusion. But you know what? I rose above that accusation, and then I won the next year. Then I won 3 years after that, because I am the fantasy football 4-time champion of the 23-year running Pit League. And Zakariah, who I just talked to, shares a team with one Artavon Daveron. And Artavon Daveron and Zakariah have been in that league every single year. They have one title to my 4. So I'd love to see, after Zach navigates his email, he can, try and qualify him and Artie's fantasy prowess versus mine. But until then, let's take a look at Lambeau Field. I've yet to go there. I imagine it's cold. Looks pretty frosty. A lot of big folks there. A lot of heavy folks. They like their cheese curds. They like their fried food. But damn, they love football. And who wouldn't? I mean, I went with Humm Daddy Joe Starkey and Humm Daddy Pete McGonis. In a way, he's a Humm Daddy. I mean, he's the buddy. He's a friend. You might have heard him early on these things. We went to Chicago for a Wrigley Field trip. And as much as there's, a lot of fried food, a lot of cold weather, those people love sports. And that's something that can bring us all together. And it was a magical place. Who's this with a Jordan shirt on?
Oh, what's popping? Oh, you got that Niners hat on, huh? Lots of those bodies are dropping like flies now, boy.
Yeah, I was just getting into that. It's at what point do we start blaming Kyle Shanahan for injuring every 49er every year?
I knew that was going to come up, and I was going to tell this story. I'll make it quick. But when I was at Cal, by far the hardest class that I ever took. It was like 6 units or something. I don't even know how I passed. I think the guy just liked me. Anyways, the final paper was like a 60-page paper. I'm probably exaggerating on everything. The bottom line is, the point of the paper was we had this computer program where you typed in all these different variables, and then it would spit out the answer that you were trying to get. Now, what I'm saying is you could actually do some research. Do you think that you could link a coach and the play calling or what, like all these different variables into actually saying that one coach is a coach that gets his players injured and another guy is a coach that his players never get injured? Like, do you truly believe that Shanahan is behind all of these injuries?
I do.
Okay.
It's a simple answer.
You're not going to do any research. You're not going to do anything to back it up. Simple. Simple answer.
I saw someone on Twitter once say that Harbaugh was way more into stretching than Shanahan is for pregame warmups.
All right, so now you're starting. Now you're
That's
starting.
Stuck with me. That's stuck with me. And the Brock Purdy injury in Philly, that the NFC Championship game, he put a third string tight end into block for one of the best DNs in football, and doing those kind of matchups where you think it is an advantage to one side of the field, but you leave the other side of the field bare. That leaves lesser players to defend or to block against better players, and that leads to more injuries. So those kind of scheming points, I think, could possibly lead to injuries. And the Niners have been, except for 2023, they've racked up injuries more than any other team every single year. It's starting to drive me nuts.
Yeah, and if we're going to go back to this comparison about writing a paper and actually having stuff to back it up, now you're giving me stuff that backs it up. I can add to your paper just a little small paragraph that his disciple Mike McDaniel, who's probably going to get fired if they lose at home to the Patriots next week, but think about Tua. How many concussions have Tua gotten? Because a lot of the times guys are coming free because he's running all these crazy. So when it goes well, it's great. But when it doesn't, and I hear you might be onto something.
Hey, McVay, after that Super Bowl, Stafford's been banged up a ton. I mean, he's another guy, but I think McVay's a little sharper. He had a grandfather that worked for the 49ers during the dynasty, and he knows more shit than Shanahan does. Shanahan thinks he's everyone's like. This gets into Mike Silver's book. I don't know if you've read any of it or heard his interviews. He does a whole thing about the Kyle Shanahan coaching tree. So you got LaFleur in there. You got Raheem Morris, McDaniel, and McVay, and a few other coaches. But it's interesting because they all still thank Kyle for everything. But most of them have accomplished more at this point than Kyle as far as winning it all. Raheem did, not as a head coach, but or did he? No, he didn't as a head coach. McVay won it all, but Kyle still has that like mental edge over him. So it's a fascinating study to see the Shanahan coaching tree about the actual Redskins, who we just saw lose in a humiliating fashion to Green Bay, who now looks like the greatest team on earth. But it was the Redskins staff in 2010. Was that the RG3 year, or 2011? All these coaches were on that staff. Like all these guys are head coaches now in the NFL.
Yeah. By the way, I don't know how politically correct we have to be, but you keep saying the R word, the racial slurs.
That's what they were called in 2011.
Oh, okay. All right. You're going back. Well, I just didn't know how PC we had to be. I don't know if kids are listening, but you can't use that. I mean, I know Trump said he's going to bring it back, but I don't think he's actually going to do that.
That was their factual name when Shanahan and his coaching tree coached them.
I hear you. I hear you. No, I mean, look, it's going to be crazy, right? Because truth to the fact that Shanahan originally wanted Mac Jones, right? Was there something about that?
Yes. So,
okay.
That whole trade the picks thing, Mac Jones was on their mind, not Trey Lance.
Yeah.
And then they became more enamored with Trey Lance.
Yeah.
After
that's what I'm talking about. Well, let's see what Shanahan
he got
can do
his guy,
with
right? He got his guy.
Here's the thing though. No George Kittle, no Ayuk. Has there been an injury update on third and Juwan?
Juwan is questionable and not trending to play. It all depends on tomorrow. He hasn't practiced yet. He's just doing small workouts on the side.
And so it's Ricky. It's Ricky and
Kendrick Bourne, homie, and MVS.
Kendrick Bourne. Okay, all right. Did they sign anybody off the practice squad or any free agents?
No, Kendrick Bourne just got signed this week. So it's literally the 2022 Patriots quarterback to wide receiver combo. And I think they went 4-13 or something.
Thank God you're playing the Saints, huh?
Yeah, but still, I thought Arizona would dominate them last week, and I believe it ended as a 1-score game.
Yeah, I mean, the tight end for the Saints, I'm blanking on his name. JJ or his initials, but the tight end got like whatchamacallit threw like what 50 passes or something, and
The
like
new quarterback, that young
yeah.
dude. Yeah.
Well, whoever won the battle, Ratliff or I don't
Yeah.
know. I don't even know those guys' names.
Radler.
Whatever it is, he threw like 50 times, and somehow they only scored like 10 points. But yeah, I mean the schedule in theory should be favorable, right? So you got the Saints on the road, then you come
Open
home
against
for
the
two.
Cards at home,
Cards at
and then
home,
Jags.
bro. And then the Jags at home. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and he's out 3 to 5.
Which one? Kittle or Purdy?
No, Purdy.
Purdy's out anywhere from 2 to 5, but it's like a take it day by day thing. Yeah.
Well, let's say it's 3. Even if Matt can get you to 1 and 2, you're at 500.
Yeah.
When Purdy comes back, but we'll see.
Max rookie year, didn't they have a winning record? I think the past.
Yeah, went to the playoffs.
Yeah,
went to the playoffs.
Yeah,
it was his last year and then he went to Jacksonville, but you can't hold that against him.
No, but his last 2 years he kind of. But Belichick started getting senile and like hiring defensive guys to work on the offense.
dating teenagers and
completely messed up Mac's trajectory. So
true.
I don't blame Mac for that. Hey, Shanahan has his guy. If you're that offensive genius, Kyle, put Mac out there and let him work. Let Mac cook.
Let's see. Yeah. Well, I mean, the biggest part is you got the win in Seattle, because if you're looking at 0-1 and your tight end, who's arguably your best offensive player, and your starting quarterback, your franchise guy that you cashed out, are both out for 3 to 5, and you're 0-1, then it's a little tough to manage. But at 1-0, you bought yourself a little wiggle room, because again, even if he goes 1 and 2, you're at 500 after 4.
Gotcha. Welcome,
and people
David.
in the thread, Jake. People in the thread are hollering. Maybe when Purdy might have lost his job to injury. Now I don't know if it's going to go that crazy, but if Mr. Genius Kyle wanted Max so bad, and now he's got him, and things pop off, Purdy might come back and he might be holding the old clipboard, Jake.
Yeah, he's an offensive genius. Everyone knows it. I mean, come on. It's Kyle Shanahan. He's the best of all time.
He is, though. And I mean, McDaniel, but here's the thing. And I don't have the data to back up, but like, how many guys start as being geniuses like McDaniel was when they were like 6-1 and they were talking about Tua being in the MVP conversation? But then, do you adapt after that? Like, when are you figured out? Because I don't know if you watched every single second of the Dolphins-Colts game like I did. By the way, Colts scored on every single possession that they had. The Dolphins didn't get one stop. They scored on all 7 possessions. I didn't even see it. I was too angry to even hear if that's happened before, but I'm guessing it hasn't. Anyways, all the stuff that looked genius before, that McDaniel was running, Tua coming off of this, doing this, throwing the ball that way, tosses back, throws over there, quick hitches, all that stuff. The Colts knew everything. So I don't know if you're figured out or not. Kyle still seems to be having a ton of success, other than last year, which again was an anomaly. He's had some bad years, but then he's gone to the NFC Championship game 4 times?
Yes.
4 times going to the NFC Championship game. As somebody that might live in Miami and be a Dolphins fan, they would give their right arm to go to the AFC Championship game 4 times.
I understand all that. My beef isn't with his solid ability. It's with everyone claiming he's a genius, and with the standards the 49ers have set, and him not being able to close the deal like 49ers coaches in the past.
No, that's fair. That's fair. Yeah. And I mean, look, the bottom line is, the Niners standard is that getting close is not good enough. I mean, I don't know how Niners fans look back on the Harbaugh era. I look back on it very fondly. He got to how many NFC Championship games? And he got to he only got to 1 Super Bowl. But still, that era, coming off the Tom Sula was after, right? Well, he was coming off of
he was coming off Singletary.
Okay, yeah. So then all of a sudden he had you guys relevant again and had Ashcon making rally anthems, and you were, the Niners
I'm way more pro Harbaugh than I am pro Shanahan. Trust me on that one.
Fair enough.
I mean, that guy was a hard ass, and he totally, he flipped the script instantly. He turned the team his first year. They became contenders.
for sure.
Shanahan
Yeah,
had a dog shit, Brian Hoyer squad for a couple years
yeah,
before anything really happened.
yeah. What
But
was Harbaugh? Because Shanahan has had like at least 1 or 2 or 3 missing the offs completely, right? And everybody's just chalked
yeah,
it up to injury. Yeah.
right. So his first year, they, I don't know, won 3 or 4 games. That was also the year I think they traded for Jimmy. Was it at the end of the year? And that's when they won all the games. The COVID year, they were horrible after the Super Bowl, the first Super Bowl,
Okay.
and they missed the playoffs completely.
And
And
then
then
last year.
last year after the
Yeah.
Super Bowl, they missed the
So
playoffs
3
completely.
bad years and like 4 or 5 good ones.
And they had to win every single game in, I believe it was 21 that year Debo carried them.
Uh-huh.
To even make the playoffs. They had to
Yeah.
win out. I think they won 7 in a row or something and
Yeah.
barely made it when they beat the Rams at the end.
Yeah.
And then they lost to the Rams on that drop pick. But it's been a trying time, dude. I mean, when you expect excellence, when you get to the bowl and you have a 10-point lead, you can't lose it multiple times as
I
the
know.
same. I mean, and it
I
was
know.
already his reputation. So to live
Yeah.
up to that reputation by doing the exact same shit you've been criticized for, I
Yeah.
think that's how much he believes his own hype
Yeah.
and is in his own head thinking, yeah, he's stubborn enough to think I can do it over and over again. And at one point it's going to work. It hasn't worked, homie. I mean,
Yeah.
you're a good coach. I give that to you, but you're not the dude everyone thinks you are. Your
Yeah.
dad taught you everything you know,
Yeah.
and he's a nepo baby, basically.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think, yeah. I mean, yeah. And his dad has a couple and he doesn't. And I don't personally believe this, but I have heard this and I could understand why somebody would think it. If you are up 28-3 in the Super Bowl in the second half and you lose, I don't care what anybody says. I don't think that it actually applies to anything else, but it's got to be in your head because forget being up 10 in the fourth, Jake. He was up 28-3 in the Super Bowl in the second half. If he had literally just knelt every play, he would have won the game. I mean,
Right.
He would have won the Super Bowl. Now, granted, he was the offensive coordinator, not the head coach, but he was the one calling the plays. I mean, good Lord. And then to have 2 blown leads in the fourth quarter in the bowl, I mean, yeah, it's got to haunt you.
Well, and so what's he known to do? He loves to run, just run it down their throat, zone run. Like when we dominated the Packers, for instance,
Yeah.
and the Vikings in those Jimmy G playoffs.
Yeah.
We threw the ball, under 10 times.
Yeah.
And just ran it up their ass with Mostert and who's the other dude from Atlanta? I don't know, a couple different backs. But so what's he do against the Chiefs when we're up coming into the third quarter this last Super Bowl? He throws it 3 times in a row.
I know. It's a mind bleep. You know what he needs? He doesn't even need an in-game coordinator. He needs a guy in the second half that's just right next to him that goes, hey, we can't blow this again. What are you calling? No. Come on, man.
You're killing the momentum.
Let's just do what we've been doing.
He
I mean,
single-handedly
one guy like
takes
that.
away his own momentum he's built. He builds momentum and then takes it away from himself.
And sits on
it seems like it's on purpose.
Yeah. All right. So let me ask you this very serious question. Let's say they have another injury play, very similar to last year. Mac is average. Let's say he goes a little bit below 500. Purdy steps back in. Maybe he goes around 500, or he misses a couple of other games later down the line and Mac shits the bed. Huh?
So you're saying if they miss the offs?
A similar year to last year, is he gone?
I've heard people think he's not. You'd have to have someone in mind to replace him. I would give Saleh a chance at head coach. Honestly, yeah, I'd fire him and hire Saleh.
He was such a disaster with the Jets, though.
Who isn't a disaster with the New York Jets?
Jets.
Honest question.
Jets.
Honest question. Yeah. Who isn't a disaster with the Jets?
I don't know. I think I would. I'd go John Gruden before I went Saleh.
Oh yeah, that'll really fly in the Bay Area. Sure.
Look, man, he was just he was going with the flow of traffic. I mean, he apologized.
Well,
I think he's going to win his lawsuit against the NFL.
Yeah, he might have already won it. No.
Well, I know he had a victory within it that's going to take it. Like they were trying to dismiss it, And then
Okay.
a judge ruled that they couldn't dismiss it. So that was a victory for him. But I think they're still going. They'll probably settle. But
Yeah, I like
anyways,
John. That's
yeah.
fine, but no, it
Saleh,
honestly
look, some guys, Jake, some guys are just coordinators. You see it all the time. You know, and some of them they get another chance at head coaching and they blow it. And then they go back to being a coordinator and they're amazing. I could go through, a laundry list. Like, I'm surprised Dan Quinn is having success in Washington, although they just got blown out today. But you see those guys pop up. Like, who was the coach of the Saints last year? And now he's the defensive coordinator, somebody
the
else.
Raiders,
But
Raiders
yeah,
guy,
that's the second time
Dennis,
he's gotten an
or yeah.
opportunity and blew it. So look, I think Saleh is just one the offensive
Chiefs D coordinator.
The offensive Josh McDaniels, right?
Yeah,
He's
yeah,
great as a coordinator. He's sucked as a coach twice now. So I think you got to keep Saleh just as the defensive coordinator. He's great at that. But I mean, I hear what you're saying. They can't just fire Shanahan and then I guess isn't that what every team does? Or do you think most teams already know who they're going to hire when they fire a guy?
You better have someone in mind, dude.
Yeah.
I mean,
well, you don't want to Tom Sula
fire people without knowing who they're going to hire.
You don't want to Tom Sula.
No, of course not.
No.
Saleh is not Tom Sula. Tom Sula was a D-line assistant coach or something.
Fact.
That shit made zero sense at the time, and still
I was there for that. I was covering that press conference live on air, and that guy was like, that whole thing is an SNL skit. If you didn't know any better,
sentence together.
If I just showed you that press conference and like chopped it up and told you that it was an SNL skit, you would 100% believe it.
Yeah. Well, okay. So we'll see what happens. I mean, it's a long season, but that's the Niners talk for now. I went into my big takeaway from tonight was the tight end play and Eckler getting hurt. Those were two, and obviously Green Bay just looking like the studs of the league. That was my takeaway from that game. Anything else you want to add to the?
Well, you mentioned earlier about Bill Belichick going senile. I'm now wondering, and I think we're seeing it all on display. But has Jerry Jones completely lost his mind? Because it's one thing to trade Micah Parsons. That whole thing that unfolded, and that he even admitted, he's like, I like having the Cowboys in the headlines. I like the publicity. My team's worth the most, like 11 billion, more than any other team in the world. But yeah, you doing that the whole time pissed Micah off and got to a point where you could not reconcile it. And then this is the part I don't get, Jake. How do you trade him to the NFC? And not only the NFC, a good team. Like, what are you? Yeah, a team that's knocked you out of the playoffs within the last 5 years, I think once or twice. Why would you trade him to Green Bay?
Oh, they're a rival.
My takeaway is, are the Packers the favorites to reach the Super Bowl out of the NFC now that they have Micah?
They have been. The last two, they embarrassed Detroit, and they just embarrassed the Commanders.
Crazy. And Detroit and the Commanders are supposed to be two legitimate playoff NFC.
They're supposed
teams.
to be maybe in the top, but preseason they're two of the three top NFC teams.
Yeah,
and they got
I guess I'm speaking for myself. I slept on the Packers going into this year.
Like, I think everyone kind of did, honestly.
Yeah. Well, just because they didn't have a bad year last year. They made the offs, but they just fizzled out in the first round, and they weren't like. They didn't have a great regular season either. So I think I'm like I said, I'm speaking from experience. I thought they were going to make the playoffs. I just didn't see them as like the favorites out of the NFC. And once Micah got traded there, I think that's where they're at. I mean, who would you have ahead of them? The Lions, they got embarrassed by the Lions. They got embarrassed by the Commanders. Commanders made the NFC Championship game last year.
I know.
It's
Philly maybe ahead of them.
So
there you go.
So Philly and Green Bay.
Yeah, right now those are the power two in the NFC, I'd say for sure.
For sure. 100%. Yeah.
So Eckler's out probably for the year after seeing him. He had a non-contact knee, it looked like, and he got carted off.
Yeah.
So that's rough.
Never good.
I freaked out and picked up their fourth string running back for fantasy. Oh, and by the way, thanks for whipping my ass in baseball after I dominated last few weeks and you sucked. So I'm glad to see you turned on that.
Yeah, well, I barely made it. I was the 6th seed.
I know you were falling off the face of the earth, and I was
dude. I went to the cock fest is what we call it. I know that's probably not appropriate for the cast, but all the guys get together. for the opening week of football. No wives, no kids. Everybody's married with kids, but it's like the one weekend that they get out of the year. So I was in another galaxy. I mean, I was in Lake Tahoe, but mentally I was in another galaxy. So I wasn't managing my team and all that stuff. But yeah,
I know
I'm
what
back
you mean.
in there, baby.
Competitive balance.
Hashtag.
All right, so we're keeping these short and sweet. I want to end with
Michelle. How about end with your Giants, or do you not do any Giants talk?
That's what I'm talking about.
Okay.
The Giants just gained a half game on the Mets today.
Dude.
They've won. Giants have won 2 of their last 5. They're 2-3 in their last 5. And they've gained a game and a half or 2 games on the Mets during that time because the Mets win or they lose every single game. They haven't won in a week. So the Reds and the Giants now are knocking on the Mets' door. Padres also aren't doing great. I mean, they win sometimes, but what do you think of that, dude?
Well, here's my question to you. When you were at your lowest point, when you were doing like your wife her friends were texting you saying this guy's lost his mind. When you were
Joker,
what was the most amount of games you were out of first place or out of the last wild card?
The wild card. I think we got to 8.
Wow. Yeah.
Like recently. That was only a couple weeks ago.
Dude, we were dumping dirt on them, and I look up and they're like, Giants are 3.5 out. And I was like, what? Of what? Like of having the worst record in the league?
Yeah.
Because I hadn't been watching your recaps. I figured it was all over.
Yeah. It might have been even worse than 8. They were 7 under 500 at their lowest point after being
it was
20 over like in the beginning part of the year or something.
Yeah. And it wasn't even just like that you guys were losing. It was who you were losing to. You were getting swept by like the worst teams, by the Nationals, the Pirates, the Marlins. I mean, the Marlins aren't terrible, but yeah. I mean, and then now all of a sudden you guys can't be beat. The question is, has Verlander gotten any of those wins?
Yeah, he did actually. Yes, but his
what's
last
he up to? 4?
I think it's at 3 still. But
he's got 2 in the last week and he's up to 3.
Yes.
He's been so snake bitten. I'm not a huge
it's
fan
historic what's going on with him and how many bullpen losses there are on his days to pitch.
We all know how badly he wants 300. And I hate him because he just stuck it to the A's year after year. But it's gotten so bad that to the point where like I'm now rooting for him. I'm like, dude, give the guy a win. You just literally hit me with he's got 2 in the past couple of weeks, and I think he's up to 3. I mean, he had 1 all year long. Poor guy.
Yeah, I mean, he hasn't pitched that bad. He should have a lot more than 3 wins. He should be like 7-8 or something. Instead, he's 3-11 or I don't know.
Yeah, what did RT say on the thread that like one particular closer has blown like 5 of his wins? Walker.
Yeah.
We should get RT a Walker jersey.
So if Ryan Walker hadn't blown, he actually has been really good as of late, but he lost the job initially. He was the Giants closer to start the year.
Yeah.
And then they're like, okay, Camilo come back. And then Camilo was good and then struggled. And then he went to the Yankees and he might be cut now. I don't know what happened to him.
Yeah.
And then our stud young dude, Rodriguez, right?
Well, wasn't Duvall was the closer for a while.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Camilo Doval. He got traded to the Yanks after he was like he's a head case.
He's been horrible there, by the way.
Horrible on the Yanks. That's what I'm saying. I haven't checked lately, but I think he might have been demoted.
His ERA was like in the 10s with them.
Oh, dude, they were booing the shit out of him game 3 or something.
Yeah.
But Walker's been decent lately. He blew a big game against the Cardinals at the Cardinals that Verlander just went 7 strong, no runs, and then Walker comes in, doesn't get an out. Game over instantly.
Poor guy.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, look, this is all you can ask for is competitive ball in September. How many games?
Competitive balance.
Well, in this case, competitive ball. How many games are left?
So we're out 1.5. We have 7 games with the Dodgers, mind you, alone. Complete games left. So today's the 11th. I think there's about 20 games left. Maybe 19, something like that. The Mets lose every game, so we don't have to worry about them. Might have to start worrying about the Reds because they seem like more of a competitor. But it's gonna be interesting, dude. Like all I wanted was interesting September baseball for the Giants.
And you got it.
We
You
got
it.
It's funny
Yep.
on the Paulie Mack, that trip we went to the Giants game with Paulie Mack and Rod Brooks and stuff. I sent out an email to everyone saying, "Hey, what if the Giants just rip off 15 in a row?" At the time, they're at their lowest. Then they swept the Cubs and went and won 12 of 13 or whatever. And now people are saying, "Damn, Jake, sending me back like the pictures of the emails I sent. Like, you called it, bro.
Love it. Boom. Love it." Yeah, no, I mean it's amazing stuff because we could not have been burying them more at whatever their lowest point was. I mean, it was just ridiculous.
You know, I'm a bipolar fan. They're a bipolar team. Let's go.
Yeah. No, I mean definitely the low point was getting swept at home. Oh yeah, by the way, when I was talking about all the bad teams that you were losing to, it was at home.
Dude, we at one point we went winless in a homestand. It was like an 0-7 homestand, and before that we went like 2-4 or something. Yeah. So it was the worst home streak in Giants history since 1901 as the New York Gophers.
I didn't hear that.
Or something. Yeah.
1901?
We had the worst home stretch in Giants history since 1901.
That's about as low as it gets.
And then all of a sudden Devers Player of the Week.
The chipmunk. The chipmunk is raking.
Right.
I love it.
I mean, yeah, but let's hope he rakes against you these next couple of days, or else I'm toast.
Yeah, we'll see.
Anywho, and the A's, let's just close off with your A's. They might have the Rookie of the Year. And
we've got a nice bunch. You sent me a tweet of like the 5 guys. We got a nice core. Now the question is, I mean, I know we've got Butler locked in for like the next 7 or whatever. He's been actually the weak link, as my fantasy baseball team name is the Lawrence Butlers because I love him so much, and I got the bobblehead doll. But yeah, I mean, we've got a core. But the question is, are they going to keep them or are they going to ship them off before they get to a point where they can up their payroll? Because I don't know. I don't even know what the latest is on what the possible move-in date is for Vegas, but I'm worried they're going to sell all those guys at one of these deadlines in the next couple of years. But yeah, I mean, between Kurtz and Soderson, I mean, every time you look up, Hooker the Rooker, I mean, we got guys up and down the lineup. The pitching staff leaves a little bit to be desired, but we got a all right bullpen. But I'm really, honestly, they're exciting as shit to watch. And unlike you, when there's a lot of pressure on the line and you're actually worried about trying to make the playoffs, I can just watch in peace. And they're entertaining as shit. Like the last thing you want to have is what the Giants were when they were at their low point, which was boring and bad. The A's might not be great, but they're exciting as shit.
When you got young studs like that, and the franchise has gone through some serious trauma with the move, this year has been. You don't need to worry about playoffs or anything. Just enjoy those young studs you have. I think it's
100. And that's what I'm doing. I just wish that they were playing in Oakland and not you and I having to drive an hour and a half north, even though we had a great time with your brother-in-law's nice tickets and we had a blasty blast. But still, that's a trek. I mean, you don't want to have to take a train an hour and a half to go see your squad.
I love when we get the people who work at the stadium try to hit me up for some to work on the vents due to the tickets we have.
Oh yeah, they came by. Your brother, they're like, "Can you get in contact?" We're like, "That was classic." We're like, "No, it's my brother-in-law."
It's my brother-in-law. He's like,
"Yeah, but you." Hold of those motherfuckers.
Well, that fool seemed Jew. He was like, "Oh, it's your brother-in-law? Well, then hit him up. Tell him to work on the vents."
Did you tell Jack?
Yeah, he just laughed. He didn't care.
Poor guy. He's like, it's hotter than hell up there. Oh, good stuff.
Well, anywho, this is ThurZdee Night Live, and I guess we're closing it out. Look forward to a Humm Daddies full-length podcast coming at you Sunday night and Monday morning on audio. Thank you, Zakariah. We'll see you again next Thursday.
Follow your boy at Zach Sports, ZAK Sports.
At Zach Sports, keep subscribing and liking. Smash that like button for the Daddies and Zach. All right, guys, take it easy. Humm Daddies. Peace.
Holla.